Welcome to Cooking with What You Have. In this series of recipes and cooking demonstrations, we will use a typical Caldwell County food pantry basket as a foundation for our recipes, along with normal ingredients that most people have in their kitchen. Our goal is quick and easy, nutritious food. Visit caldwellfoodpantry.com for recipes and cooking videos, or visit the Caldwell County Christian Ministry Food Pantry.
Hi, I'm Priscilla, the IceBox Queen, and I'm working with the Caldwell County Food Bank to show you a recipe for a simple whole chicken. So I've removed this chicken from the package, and I reached inside and pulled out the gizzards and neck that they often have in packaged chicken. And now I'm just going to dry them off with a paper towel and try to make all of the juices that were in there off. And once I get pretty dry, I've got some salt, some pepper, and some Italian seasoning. You could use any sort of herb seasoning that you have, or fresh herbs if you've got them. I'm going to mix these all together. For this recipe, it's really important to have this in place beforehand so that you're not having to touch the thing of salt or pepper or Italian seasoning with your chicken hands. So I'm going to take a spritz of that I've rubbed together and rub it all over the back of the chicken. Make sure I get a lot on the front of the chicken, and inside of the chicken do a good rub. Go out from the other side here. If you like, you can get a little bit underneath the skin here and here, around the breast, and make sure you get some seasoning in there too. That'll show you that the chicken is seasoned and not just the skin. And get our seasoning all in there. And do it to the back here too. And this side, and then I'll just pour the rest of my container on and rub it on to where everywhere looks like it's got some good seasoning on it. So then I've cut up a lemon, and I'm going to put it inside. That'll let it get the lemony from the inside, and as it cooks, it'll all run together with the juices from the chicken and cook it nice. So I'm going to take my chicken and set it breast side down in my 9x13 pan. I don't need to grease it because all of the oils from the chicken skin will come off into the pan, and it'll come out just fine on its own. I'm going to set this in the oven at 425 for 15 minutes. And then I'm going to change the temperature of the oven to 375 and cook it for another 40 to 45 minutes. And we'll take a look at what it looks like then. So this is our simple whole chicken. He took probably about an hour at the 375 temperature. And then I pulled him out and let him rest for about 15 minutes, just so all the juices are locked inside and they won't all come out when I try to cut it. So I've got my chicken on the board here. I'm going to start with the joints of the wings, and I don't know how deep in you can see here, but you can see where the joint meets. That's going to be the easiest place to cut, and you give it, and it'll kind of peel away as you do it. And see how it just sliced through when I got to the right spot? I'm putting these back in the drippings in the pan. That'll help keep it moist when you're storing your chicken if you're not eating it right away. You could also drain this out in into a measuring cup from the pan and make gravy out of it. This guy left off a lot of pretty juices. Turn it so you can see this one. Right in the corner of the joint so that it'll cut. There we are. And set this one over, and then I'll do the same with the drumsticks. flipper and cut through the skin so I can find where that joint is. Slice through there. It has nice crispy skin on the top. Again, cut through the skin so that I can get to the joint. And flip that guy. Whoop, my skin came off on that one. And then you can start to cut from the breasts. So depending on whether you're trying to cut thin slices or you want to cut big pieces to serve, I'll show you on this side, thinner pieces to serve. And just slice along until you get to the bone. I tend to pick off as much meat as I can, and I like to save mine in a bag in the freezer, and then with any vegetable scraps that I have, after a while I can make chicken stock. The bones are really good for that. Alright, set this side of the breast over here. You could also cut, I'm going along the other side of the backbone here, do a deeper cut and cut off a bigger piece that you could cut off from or just serve as a big piece if you wanted to, depending on how you're serving it. And then these pieces you can cut off with a knife, you can pull off with your fingers once it's cool enough, and you can just keep cutting down from the breast to get all your meat off. You can see our lemons hiding inside. And that is our cut up chicken. I'll keep peeling off all the meat so we get all the good parts. But now you know how to make the simple whole chicken.
Thank you to all who have contributed to the Cooking with What You Have with the IceBox Queen.